making Thursday, things we're making Thursday, yeah. Things we're making Thursday, things we're making Thursday, things we're making Thursday, yeah.
Hi, this is Heather from Strings and Threads. Welcome and thank you so much for being here. Today is Things We're Making Thursday, which is a year-long collab that I'm doing with a bunch of content creators, and the list keeps growing, and I hope it will continue to grow. I love that there are so many people who want to do this with us. It makes it so fun, and I always look forward to Thursdays when I get to see everybody's videos and see what everybody has done and how their projects have turned out. So each month we do, we pick a free pattern, and we all make the pattern and show our progress every Thursday. And then at the end of the month, we show our finished project and announce what the next project is. And I put together a slideshow of everybody's progress from our Facebook group and also from people who email pictures to me. So if you're working on it with us and you're not a content creator, please feel free to either join our Facebook group and post them there. There's so much love there at our Facebook group. I mean, I think we're over 150 members, and it just keeps growing. So it might be even well more than that. But you can, if you don't want to join our Facebook group or if you don't have social media, you can also just email the pictures to me and I'll add them to my slideshow. Just let me know the name that you want me to use. So this month's pattern is Gary the Giraffe. And he is an obsession of mine right now. If you missed last week's video of mine, I encourage you to go back and look because I went a little crazy last week and I made two Garys. So I'll introduce them to you. This is Gary number 1, which I made. I didn't use the yarn that it called for. I was trying to see what I had that I could use. And so far I have not bought any yarn to use on Gary. I've just used yarn that I have. And so I used Yarn Bee Cozy with a Twist, and the name of the color is right below it, that modern other word that I can never say right. I bought this at the big clearance sale that Hobby Lobby was having a little while back. They're normally $6.99 a skein, and they were $1.87 a skein. So I had 4 of these. I didn't know what I was going to use it for. I just saw them and liked them and bought 4 of them because that's all they had left. I caught the sale towards the very end, and so there wasn't a ton of stuff left. But I did get 4 of these. Yardage wise, according to the pattern, yardage, not yarnage, I wouldn't have had enough, but I ended up with this much left over. So what I did, going into it thinking that I might not have enough, I started with the arms, legs, head, and then I did the ears and the horns, and then I did the body last because I figured, and if this is a helpful hint for you too, if you don't know that you're going to have enough yarn, or if you do start running out of yarn. When I made the body, I also did the tail before I did the body. When I made the body, it starts from the bottom up. So I had thought, like, if I start making it and I start running out of yarn, I would just go grab another yarn and use that and make it look like he's wearing a sweater. So that's what my plan was, but I did end up having enough and having some left over. So this is my Gary number 1. He's huge. And I just love him. He's sitting in a chair in my room and I just look over at him and it makes me smile. So he was my little buddy here for the start. And then I thought to myself, I used to I haven't in a while because my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. I didn't have to even start wearing glasses until I was in my 40s. But my eyesight isn't as good, so I don't work as much with it, but I used to work a lot with thread yarn. And this is size 30 crochet thread yarn. And I thought, I wonder how this pattern would look made with the crochet thread. So I got out my crochet thread. This is what I used for the body, and then I used a brown it's hard to see because crochet thread is thin. For the other parts. And then I used a micro hook This just says 7. I don't think that they have millimeter marking. Oh, sorry. I had to write a reminder for myself, and I'm still like I was when I was a teenager. I write them on my hand. Actually, at work, I'm not allowed to have my phone, and I had an idea pop into my head. So I couldn't write it on my phone, and I didn't have any paper to write it down with, so I just wrote it on my hand. Sorry if you didn't care about that little tidbit. But anyway, you know, here's it just says 7 on it. You probably can't see the 7. I know it's really hard to get it without a glare here, but it's just a real teeny tiny hook. Like I said, I got a lot of these from my Grammy, and they're numbered. There's like 6, 5, 1, 7, 10, but they don't have any millimeter markings on them. So I'm not sure. I know that the lower the number, the smaller the hook is. I don't know how they figure out the sizes for those. But anyway, I ended up with a mini Gary with the, I followed the same pattern exactly. I didn't do less stitches. I didn't do anything to modify the pattern. The only thing I didn't do is put fringe on the end because it was too hard for me to see to put the fringe on the end, but he still has a tail. So that's the second one, a mini. And then this week I had other projects that I really had to work on. So I only made one this week. This one I made with just yarn from the Dollar Tree. I had a bunch of this. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make Gary out of this. And then I used a brown, which was just a scrap. I believe it was probably Red Heart Super Saver. I don't have a lot, if any, fancy yarns. So it was probably Super Saver or whatever the comparable thing to Super Saver is. And then I used this, which was, it doesn't have any markings on it, but it does say Art of Recycle. So I ended up getting this at the Art of Recycle for $1. This was full when I got it. So I don't know what it is, but it's a white with some green sparkles mixed in. So Gary number 3, and I did not put a tail on him because he's wearing a sweater and I didn't want it to look weird. So here's Gary number 3. And I love him too. He's so cute. When I was thinking of the sweater idea for my first one, I thought, well, now I have to make one with a sweater. It wasn't because I ran out of this color yarn. I still had enough more than enough that I could have finished. But I just wanted to see then how he looked with a sweater on. So this is Gary wearing a sweater. I have an idea for next week's, and I have an idea for the week after's. So we'll see, time-wise if I make 1 or 2, but my guess is, because I have a couple of things that I'm really working on, my guess is I'll probably only get one done per week, which is still a lot, but I'm just addicted to this pattern. I can't stop making the Garys, and like Jess at J Hook Magic says, I'm making a Gary army. I thought that was so funny. But if I didn't say it before, Jess from J Hook Magic is the one, she and her husband made the jingle for us. And then Jenna from Jenna's Stitches was the one that created the Facebook page. I have the Facebook page listed down below. And so I think I covered everything. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.